Chrissy D, come with me into a world of pure annihilation. Chris Distefano, Chrissy Chaos, the guy that churns my stomach. And you go, who is watching Chrissy Chaos? You know, I thought Chrissy Chaos was bad. This Chris Distefano. It's 100 times worse than what I thought. If I ever covered this guy, Chrissy D, who I challenged to a one-on-one fist fight, me and you. Yes. Yep. I know you're going, Mike, there's no way. Chris Distefano, at the very least, okay, could beat you up, right? Okay. Prove it, Chris Distefano. I don't know what else to say. I'm willing to show you all that I could not only win, it's going to be like a movie.
And are you wearing your mecha suit for this?
No.
Nude.
I could do this in just boxers, yes. So that's what I'll say. Because I've seen what I need to see with this Chrissy D. Okay, and I sit long and hard on these people, years, because you know what? I'm looking out for the internet and the world. People go, oh, a show about another show, and he picks on comedians, he picks on these people. Well, because they go unchecked. You see, movies and music have reviews and haters and people arguing about them all day, about the legitimacy of them. Comedians tend to not. And they want to take up your time. They want to take your ear, not just for 10 minutes a week. No. They want your ear almost all day, every day now. Have you seen it? When a comedian isn't podcasting, they're tweeting. When they're not tweeting, they're on stage. When they're not on stage, they're filming a video. When they're not filming a video, they're doing an Instagram live or posting a pic. They want 100% of your time now. So it's what's called war. That's a declaration of war. If somebody wants to take your ear for that amount of time, this is why I go after the H3 podcast. I wouldn't care if they did 1 hour a week somewhere hidden away. No. They want to be recommended, spoon-fed, force-fed to you on YouTube to millions of people every day. And as that number grows, it just multiplies. And not only do they want an hour of your time a week, 8 hours of your week. No, they want 4 to 5 hours a day, every single day. Okay? I'm catching these comedians, especially Chris Distefano. I think he's one of them who's on this Instagram live all day talking to 71 people. Saw Giannis Papas doing that. We'll show you that later. I go, okay, well, they're taking a lot of people's time. Maybe I need to warn the people because they seem to be all wrapped up in this guy. And there's nobody else warning you. So it's my duty to warn you. And that is, so it's legitimate. You hear that, Chrissy D? This is a legitimate thing that I'm doing here, a public service. Because everyone else is saying, oh, Chris Distefano is amazing. All his peers who have shows, who you've given your trust to, okay, right? Well, they don't care about the trust you've given. They don't respect that at all because they'll just tell you whatever friend they have is great, go listen. They'll tell you to go buy Manscaped. They'll tell you to do all this stuff. So they took your trust that you made with that podcast connection, and then they just will tell you anything. Stuff that they don't even believe. Every day, Joe Rogan's telling me about a different brand of supplement he trusts the most. Why don't you trust Onnit? That's the one you were selling us for 20 years. You know, Joe Rogan, he has a supplement company called Onnit. Well, he doesn't anymore. He just works with other companies now. So was Onnit no good? Let me know, bro.
Because we bought them all.
Because we ingested a lot of it. So, you know, to gain our trust and then to use it to sell stuff to you and to screw you out of your time like they're doing and suggest things. You know, how many comedians do you see promote another comedian and say they're the best, they're the best, they're the best? It's not the best. It's crap. And that can't be, I can't have people out there thinking that this is the top, the upper echelon. That people go, Mike, is you? No, I am the one who wants the stuff. Okay, just like you, I want to be able to watch a bunch of podcasts and give them all my time and trust them and laugh at every word they say. So that's what I'm fighting for. just so I could have a show that I like. Until then, this is it. And Chrissy Distefano must fight me in a ring publicly in front of everybody. I'm sorry. It's come to that. That's what it's come to.
And he's worried about this.
Yeah, he's worried. He is worried. He might be one of the most worried people on the planet. And that's when I say, okay, how about limit how much you talk to people just to an hour per week? Because I can't have society following you. So it drives me nuts when I see any more than 12,000 views on something Chrissy Distefano. You know, unless you're dumber than him, which it could be that if you're dumber than the host, maybe everything the host says is incredible. There's certainly people dumber than Chrissy Distefano. I'm bringing them up, and you're going to love this segment. Should I play that? Chrissy Distefano learns about... Should I do that one first?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Chrissy Distefano learns about podcast cringe. My buddy. Friend of the show, Podcast Cringe. They're a YouTube channel that does a quick, voiceover thing, mini documentary about scams. This Podcast Cringe is getting big, right? This is the UK guy, right? This is the British
guy.
Australian. I thought I used to be able to spot an Australian. I swear the Australians, I think, are starting to try to mimic people from London because they're embarrassed of their accent. And it's sounding more like that. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just, wildly not paying attention anymore. But Podcast Cringe is big now. I keep hearing everybody's bringing up Podcast Cringe. He seems to be bigger than Too Lazy to Try now. Maybe not. But those channels are big, and you hear even non-comic people bringing these up. I hear celebrities of all kinds, influencers of all kinds. Jeff Wittek from Jeff FM was going, dude, that's what we're going to see right now. Oh, yeah. Watch this. This is so cool.
Too Lazy to Try is still winning.
Too Lazy to Try, okay.
He's the bigger star.
Okay, yeah. I think they're pretty close. And I love how Too Lazy to Try doesn't... How do those guys not hate each other? Are they keeping it in? Do they secretly hate each other? Or do they all get along? Maybe they're just three really nice people who got into hate coverage videos. I don't know. They're very nice to me. All three of them have been extraordinarily nice to me. And I promote all three. I subscribe to all three. And guess what, guys? Podcast Cringe, you guys... Go check your patrons. Yeah, you're welcome. We've been since day one. Too Lazy to Try. I'm just as important as any other fan you got. I hope you know that. I am a patron guy. I'm promoting you wildly. You know how many more people you got because of me? The legitimacy I brought to Too Lazy to Try. So, I would love it if those three could continue to treat me the way they've been treating me. That would be a wonderful history, a wonderful future. I got to show you this clip. Jeff Wittek. Jeff Wittek is now involved with Chrissy D. What business would you think those two have together? Every show I watch combines eventually. There was a time where you go, Mike, what the fuck are you bringing up Jeff FM or Tana for? That ain't part of this unit. Well, it is now. Every universe is crossed. Ethan Klein is crossed over with all the comedians we hate. I mean, they're all, I guess if you're just on YouTube, it's all one thing now. Kind of. The YouTube brats. We'll always remember this time. So, Chrissy Chaos, he's sitting there with Jeff FM. This is going to be amazing. What time? 30 minutes in?
Yes.
Start there. I can't wait for this clip. I can't wait to show you all the stuff we've seen. 3000?
No, just 3000.
3000. See, I'm not a
multiples of two, baby.
Yeah, I can't.
Teriology.
I'll never figure that out. Teriology. Oh, there's Chrissy D. Already looking nervous. What quality are you giving me, Chrissy? Let's see what he gives people off the bat here. Oh, okay, so he's giving me up to 1080p premium. I'll click that. No auto for me. Thank you very much. No. But on the Redbar website, please use auto. Okay, we have to pay for that. Slam. Okay, so the first thing I see when I open Chrissy D's podcast set, you know what? When we do this, Jules, we should play the intro real quick. Unless this is an ad intro. Let's find out.
What's up, everybody?
Fuck
Look at
yeah,
this.
hey!
Welcome to another episode of Chrissy
the guys.
Chaos. I am Chris Distefano, a.k.a. Chrissy Chaos, a.k.a. Chrissy Colostomy Bags, a.k.a. Chrissy Hangovers, okay? I got wild out of my mind, nearly blackout drunk last night.
Okay, are you doing Sebastian, too? A little bit of... You're a copycat, and I know that. Woo! Oh, this poor guy, look at his eyes. Right off the bat, look at those eyes. I don't even have to zoom in on those eyes to show you everything I'm saying is true.
He's going
Look
through
at
stuff.
these eyes. So, yeah, we're doing a new segment on Redbar called He's Going Through Something. The segment. On this week's He's Going Through Something, we look into Chris Distefano's eyes and we learn, everything in his personal life is terrible. Okay, now remember he has wife, kid, family. So he's blabbing. Here's his set. Now, what is this? This is the Chrissy Chaos show. So what is the significance? Right behind Chrissy Chaos himself, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vintage slam magazines. Now, those are cool. If you're a sports fan, it is cool to have vintage magazines displayed. And I would even say in the right setting, I'll allow it. Not behind you in the master shot of your podcast. It means nothing to the show. Retarded. Absolutely retarded. And what a waste of putting something. Because now sometimes I'm reading the cover of Slam. Sometimes instead of looking at what you're saying, I'm going, are those Obama's daughters?
The mind wanders.
And then I start Googling Slam. 2 black chicks, purple. Nothing. And now you're wasted my time. So, and I don't understand. Like, why can't you figure this out? I bet if I go to your house, you don't have no Slam magazine at the headboard of your bed. I hope not. So, okay, here's Chrissy Chaos. He's rambling right off the bat. His eyes are darting. Let's go to that 30 minutes. Which, if you could do it without typing 030, your show's too short. That's all that means. So here's Chrissy Chaos. He's got the fake plants. Those are fanned out a little bit more, but God, they look so papery and fake. Maybe don't shine light on them in this manner. So, okay, he's sitting on a diagonal as well. And I love these wood slats. To me, when I see these, I go, oh my God, he must be in the most expensive room. I don't ever think it's just strips of pine that you glued on.
Doesn't make you think of one of those TikToks.
I love how they don't think the character of wood or the finish has anything to do with the impressiveness of the wood. You can't just put wood from like a crate from Costco on the wall.
But they probably hire some guy and he was like, I can make you a wall that looks like fancy marble and wood for like $55.
Oh, is that what's supposed to be underneath? Marble?
I mean, maybe.
Good mother of pearl.
I don't know. Looks more like granite.
Yeah. Maybe
Looks
it's a big guitar inlay, and he's just sitting as a pick in a fret of a guitar.
Yeah, that would be
okay,
cool.
Hold on. Here we go. Jeff Wittek, though, is on Chrissy Chaos. Let's see what happens.
I'm telling you a story.
Yeah,
you know.
But now we talk so much on podcasts that like if you say some shit that's a lie on the podcast, then we're gonna end up in those videos that they make on Bert Kreischer and all them.
Yeah, which I honestly kind of don't care about. I'm just like, yeah, dude, whatever.
You wouldn't care if somebody made a video like that, just completely bashing your whole life.
Well, that's what I think the beauty about having a podcast is. Then I could just make fun of that. It's like the Russian doll and the Russian doll. It's like whatever you do to me, then I'll just make fun of it on my platform.
Yes. Whatever you do to me, I'll just make fun of it on my podcast. Really? How many views you got? This rocks. Oh, 45K views. No, thank you. No, thanks.
Only 45K new fans
Jesus,
for a
man.
slamming?
This is from 7 days ago, homie. I was like, oh, shit, if I make fun of you, you'll make fun of me back on your podcast? Doesn't this thing have like 500K views? Chrissy Chaos is down to 45K? And he spent all that money. I think there was a period where he was like getting 1 million views or something, or like 900K.
I thought
Can you go back?
Sold out Radio City Music Hall.
What if his show was blowing up and it's been going downhill, and that's why Chrissy Chaos is changing and full of anxiety now? Remember when he bought the new watch and the new wardrobe? He bought like a $200,000 watch celebrating his success. Just just 6 months ago.
Well, this episode is with Jeff, and his new episode from today is with Hassan. So he's trying to get some teen audience going.
Okay, so how many did his videos have like 4 months ago?
I'm going.
Never? They were never good?
His episode.
Where's she getting the $200,000 watch from with 45K views 7 days?
Well, yeah, before he
What was you getting before? Just give me the numbers.
6 months ago, 300K.
Okay.
6 months ago, 150K.
Okay. Oh, well, to me, 150K.
It's not.
I'm not looking for that number anymore.
The least viewed
300K or more, please.
Of your podcast has to have more views than the highest viewed Redbar clip.
Redbar clip, yeah. So if I have a clip out there with 1 million views, anything lower, not impressive anymore. I've hit the 1 million mark. I know what it feels like to be
And
huge.
You're below us.
So you're below us with 45 stinkeroos. Because I bet you they don't want to hear this crap anymore. And you've even got Jeff Wittek on, who's a millionaire. Where's his audience? They didn't show? Or this is your combined audiences? That's even makes it lower weird. For you. So, Chrissy Chaos, maybe this explains a lot. But listen to this. They're talking about haterade videos. The stuff I work so hard on. The hate.
Passion.
The hate.
Well, that's what I think the beauty about having a podcast is. Then I could just make fun of that. It's like the Russian doll and the Russian doll. It's like whatever you do to me, then I'll just make fun of it on my platform.
The right mentality.
I'll just keep going. It's like, and then
it's
also
all content.
It's all content, bro.
It's a layup. You give me something to talk about.
What? Oh wow, there's a whole cycle.
See, Jeff means it. Oh, and I want to go out of my way and say we are huge Jeff Wittek fans. It'd be an honor to meet Jeff. We love you, Jeff.
We want to do like a
challengers type thing with you.
To that.
And we do. We get a big kick out of Jeff. We're big FM heads. That's Jeff FM. We're following Canceled. We know about
Bruce
The Bachelor.
Bufferman.
I'll say this. I do not approve of this Veruca, whatever,
we
Australia.
know what you're doing to her.
Get rid of her, and you need somebody to set you straight. This Cody ain't enough for you. You need somebody to tell you, you can't pretend you love a girl as a bit while she lives in Australia, and then you pretend to come see her, but then you stick 8 cameras in her face with big mics screaming all weekend. That's not the way to treat someone. And also, that girl's horrible. Get rid of her. She's disgusting. She's a nasty person, I think. She is. She's not cool. She's not sweet. She's not awesome. You could do much better at any bar, at any library, any public library. So get away from her. But other than that, we approve of almost everything Jeff FM has ever done. We were there for him when he lost his eye. And we're part of the reason he's doing well. Okay, watch this.
Podcast cringe?
Yeah.
Wait. Here.
It's like the Russian doll and the Russian doll. It's like whatever you do to me, then I'll just make fun of it on my platform.
The right mentality.
I'll just keep going. It's like, and then
it's
also
all content.
It's all content, bro.
It's a layup. You give me something to talk about.
What?
Now.
Oh wow, there's a whole site called Podcast Cringe.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. So wait.
I subscribe to them.
Yeah. No, this guy rules. He's a great.
Oh. This is like when Chris D'Elia found out that Snapchat that you could screen record Snapchat. Look at Chrissy Chaos. Wait, there's a whole site called Podcast Cringe? Uh-oh. This worries you as a rich dad? Can you imagine? I got like 6,000 documentaries on me right now. 7,000 guys after me. You're worried about Podcast Cringe? He's the nicest guy. How could you worry about that at your age? So watch when Jeff tells him.
Content.
It's all content, bro.
It's a layup. You give me something to talk about.
What?
Now.
Oh wow, there's a whole site called Podcast Cringe.
Yeah, I subscribe to them.
Yeah, no, this guy rules. He's a great channel. He covers pretty much all the content.
And what does he do? Like,
these are probably your friends. So, you can cut out whatever if I trash any of your friends.
No,
but
you can trash.
Andrew Schultz, he put out a special and he sold it for the first 2 weeks, and he told his fans it'll never come out publicly.
Okay.
And then he just
checking out a little bit of old trash.
So Jeff's like so excited. He's like, oh yeah, they did this one on Andrew Schultz, how he scammed his fans. I mean, these are the words of me coming to the mainstream. I love this. I couldn't be happier. There was nobody saying this stuff before.
Why did he do such a spastic pocket
Because
bowl?
he's worried sick. This is like when Joey Diaz was brought up P. Diddy on Joe Rogan. They get worried sick. because this is like your biggest fear is someone making a video about you. Imagine that. Imagine if your dad was afraid of a video. You know, my dad, by the way, I've never seen him be afraid of any movie ever. Never once. So look at his face when he hears about this.
You could cut out whatever if I trash any of your friends.
No,
but
you could trash.
Andrew Schultz, he put out a special and he sold it for the first 2 weeks. And he told his fans it'll never come out publicly.
Okay.
And then he just dropped
keep it zoomed out
publicly.
because I want to see the
he
trash
made
pull.
millions
You
of
missed
dollars
it.
off his
Wait. Say that again.
Keep it out.
Keep it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can play.
Here we go.
fans it'll never come out publicly.
Okay.
And then he just dropped it publicly.
Oh, that was...
Why? That's
So
my
he
favorite
starts rattling off. And yeah, look at this. I'll try to pause right on that.
Sold it for the first 2 weeks. And he told his fans it'll never come out publicly.
Okay.
And then
Okay, so
part.
look at what you're trying to find. The answers ain't in your own pocket, bro. This is the fool said. The fool let me see what I got on me for a little bit. Let me just go over all my stuff. Okay. Oh, shit. What's that? Oh, anyway, yeah, let's move on. What a nervous guy. To be this nervous at this age, I can't. At this age, you don't be nervous anymore. There's nothing to be nervous about. You know, nobody is after you in any serious manner except for me.
And what did
But
you
nobody
do?
is, so there's nothing for this guy to worry about unless he has a belly full of toxic guilt, right? You would only be nervous if you were doing something wrong. Because otherwise, who would pick on him? You're overlooked. There are plenty of other people that people are picking on, right? They're not going to pick on you. No one's going to even waste their time picking on you. You'd be lucky if people all got invested in picking on you. So he reaches into his pocket. He's pulling out trash, staring at the trash where they're really scared. Look, too. You don't ever see me look at trash. Oh, God, what do I do? And this is at his home turf, his own podcast.
special, and he sold it for the first 2 weeks, and he told his fans it'll never come out publicly.
I like
and
that.
then he just dropped it publicly, so he made millions of dollars off his fans, and then just gave it out to everyone for free. So there was a good episode about that. Joe Rogan's and everyone, because he put all these guys on, and it's like all
Isn't
of them
this
go on the
wonderful
show.
that
and
this
So
is
it's
happening?
better if you're not on this. It's better if you're not a part of
You
this.
don't want to be on this.
Okay.
Whoa! Not even in a joke way. I got to see these close-ups. God, I wish, sometimes a good show, you could do a close-up on one guy and every camera angle still gives you something good. Not this show. You get the wall when you zoom in too hard and it changes cameras. So listen to this part, Wes.
Joe Rogan's and everyone, because he put all these guys on, and it's like all of them go on the show, and that's
So
how
it's
they get
better
famous.
if you're not on this. It's better if you're not a part of
You
this.
don't want to be on this.
Okay.
Whoa. And you're like dying to go on this channel and scroll through every video to see if you're in one of these. That's all you're thinking about right now.
Okay, wait, I'm going on Podcast Cringe and seeing what, if anything, comes
It's
up.
so, well, I guess because I know how the guy is, it to me is so non-threatening.
No, and nobody's mad at him. Even people in the Redbar chat were going, "Oh, I went to Chrissy D's show."
Oh, you
last
did?
year."
Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting us know. I don't know who told you honesty is the best policy, not around here. Keep that a secret. Josh Kushner is
There's only
softer than
one
Chrissy
video that
Chaos.
comes up for Distefano, and it's Distefano roasts Jake Paul.
Oh, on Podcast Cringe.
So
Okay,
you have
well,
nothing to worry
I know, but he's
about.
worried. Look at he's worried sick. He's worried in his hoodie. A man of your age shouldn't be wearing a hoodie. No more of these fucking hoodies, by the way. You wear a hoodie if you're watching a movie outside in fall at night privately in a backyard. No more. I don't want to see this hoodie on anyone else. This is such a garbage look. They've ruined it. Yes, it used to be good. Now it sucks. Get it? That's what they do with every pair of jeans. It's what they do with everything. It's time. I know. I wish they didn't ruin it to death by printing 1 billion junky cheap hoodies and wearing them every day of my life. But they did, and now I look at this as the fool's uniform. You know what? We will do a thing. I'll come up with that idea later. All right, Chrissy Chaos, look at this.
This is like,
Got it.
it's like people that nowadays you can get famous just from who you're friends with, you know?
Right.
Like I've experienced it. I've clout chased my whole life, different groups, you know, here and there. But, you know, you got to have talent at the end of the day to back it up.
Sure.
And nowadays these comedians are doing so many podcasts. I feel like you give away your bits in podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, like you think
Chrissy has 3
yeah,
podcasts,
yeah.
by the way, maybe more.
And
At
yes,
least
Chrissy
3.
has the most podcasts, and he gives away the most out of everybody. He's doing exactly what Jeff is saying, and he's scared straight right now. And that's why I know I could win in a fight against him physically. Because look how scared he gets. You know, after just hearing me say this, he's just going to be too scared of me for life. You know.
I should have saved that for...
He doesn't need to be. He doesn't need to be. I would never. I think instilling fear in somebody should be something you could go to jail for. Seriously. Oh. Even a movie. You should be able to sue a movie for scaring the shit out of you. Really? I don't like that. Scaring somebody should be arrestable. Sorry. Fear is the same thing as if it hurt. Okay, here's Jeff FM. We love Jeff FM. And Chrissy Chaos is not handling the news of this station well, this podcast.
Site, as he
says.
says.
Site.
And they started a podcast network, and I think they're just doing too many podcasts.
Right.
I think
That's
why
you.
they're getting caught in lies.
Yeah.
They were promoting the Zin.
Wait, he did get caught in a lie
Yes.
on Redbar once when he was on
of
Impulsive, and he said at the beginning
right.
of the episode that he shaves his pubes, and then later on says he's all hairy down there. And George Danko was like, "But you said you shaved."
Oh yeah, because he lies. Listen to this.
I think that's why they're getting caught in lies.
Yeah.
They were promoting the Zins, and it was like undisclosed.
No, I don't do that, so I'm good there.
Promotion, you know, so that's like good shit. I'm like, damn, this is fucking entertaining.
So yeah,
You just listed 3 things he's probably done in the last month. That's why he's so nervous. Well, what's like the worst stuff you've heard on there that would make you turn on these guys? Oh, dude, stuff like lying on a podcast or, you know,
doing too many
podcasts. Oh. Slam!
Well, that it's a good point you bring up where I look up to authentic stand-ups like a Colin Quinn, David Tell,
Colin
those guys.
Quinn. By the way, hey, Colin Quinn, my stance on him still stands. By the way, he should be, if you guys make fun of Biden, you need to make fun of Colin Quinn. Sorry. He is stupider and older than Biden.
Wait, I kind of thought that he was a little bit with it. I was watching his special the other day, and he like knew all the Gen Z slang and stuff. He studied.
He hires
a little.
people.
He studied a little. I was surprised by that.
Well, lock him up and burn New York to the ground, please.
I agree with that still, of course.
Okay, yes, we want New York gone. We hate it. The East Coast. Shut off, push it off. I'm anti-East Coast. Not a lot of people like that in this world. So, listen to this.
Old school stand-ups. And, you know, Colin and I, he's almost like a mentor.
That's kind of it for this break. You can go to the next pod.
Oh, the next pod. So we're going to see him again. Oh, this is where things get really good. Wait till you see how Chris Distefano acted on The Experience. Yes, we're talking about Joe Rogan's podcast. What do they call Joe Rogan? The powerful one. This is JRE. And this is a powerful show. He doesn't
pretend to play a big now when the intro starts. You pretend to play a big guitar.
Me? Okay.
It makes it way funner.
Let's try it.
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night.
Big guitar.
All day.
That looks really stupid.
I never know what's going on with you, if this is like an act or if this is part
listen
of
to
the
this.
fun.
Look how this show opens. Wait till you see how this opens. Wait till you see what Chrissy Chaos is wearing. Wait till you see. And now remember, the last time we saw Chrissy Chaos on Joe Rogan, $200,000 watch that he bought in a panic because he mistook everybody getting like nice watches as, $200,000 watches. Like, you know how like all his friends had like a $50,000, $60,000 watch. And he just thought maybe those were all like 200, 300, 400. So he went out and for his first watch, he didn't even like know anything about the brand. He just bought a $200,000 watch and he was like panicked about it every day. In every show he went on for months, he was like, this watch is killing me. Yeah, I just got this watch. $200K. I know. I don't know what I'm doing. So he's like trying to flex, but it's also killing him that he has 200,000 because he saw his podcast numbers go up for 2 days. It's a $200,000 watch, which is a little overkill. People aren't really doing that at his level, when he's...
And I also think he lied about the price.
Oh, well, there's always that. No, because they knew it's the watch. They know the watch. All these watch guys. You can't lie about a watch price, not online. No. People study. A lot of nerds study the prices of watches.
So he was on top of the world the last time
He was on top of the world. He was a rich man, and he couldn't wait. He had an all-new haircut, all-new clothes. He had the Dahmer glasses that he couldn't stop talking about. Everywhere he went, he's like, I'm wearing Dahmer glasses. Dahmer. Oh, cool. It's Dahmer. Just wear the glasses. And then, he was wearing sophisticated clothing, and he was on top of the world, and he was talking about properties. He thought he was Tim Dillon. So watch the new Chris, cut to like 6 months later. Go.
Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
I never know what's going on with you, if this is like an act or if this is part of the fun of being Chrissy D.
I mean, no. Well, Chrissy D was all fun and games.
What is that kind of way to open that? Imagine if Joe Rogan said that to you. Oh, cameras are on. I never know what's going on with you if this is all an act. Gulp. To the guy who's already paranoid. Imagine. You're on Joe Rogan. This is a big deal to you and your family. And he says this. And now you've got to dig yourself out of a hole. Minute, 30 seconds in. Let's see what he says.
D.
Oh, by the way. This is crazier than the Terrence Howard episode. Terrence Howard is more together than Chrissy D. Watch this.
I mean, no. Well, Chrissy D was all fun and games.
Was.
Third
person.
Now we're coming into a part. Two major things have happened here.
Hear the story about
okay,
that.
One, I've refound my love for Christ, and I'm back believing. I'm back being Catholic.
Okay.
That's not even what we came here to show you. I forgot about that part. He's found Christ. A guy like him. What are you looking for Christ for? You know how bad it would have to be for a guy like this to need to... You do this if you, just got out of jail for murder as a white guy, and you've been in there for 20 years. Oh, well, obviously, I found Christ in jail where there's nothing else to do. You don't go and find Christ when you're on top of the world buying a $200,000 watch. You got a wife and kids. You're doing podcasts every day. You're doing specials. You're up on stage every day. Why did you need to find Christ just now as you? I can't wait to hear this.
To a part. Two major things have happened here. Okay. One, I've refound my love for Christ, and I'm back believing. I'm back being Catholic. I'm back in.
Something happened.
Got 2 feet in Catholicism.
Okay.
We're back, baby. And then the other thing is I made do
the wives buy this or something? Like if you could fuck up your whole family and be like, I follow Christ now. My body is to the Lord. Do the wives fall for that, or do they go, oh brother?
They probably like it.
Who does fall? Because it is a get out of jail free card for a lot of people. Oh no, I found Christ now though. So all that crazy shit I just did. Don't worry about it. Because God wouldn't let me do anything like that again. You're all safe now.
He's doing a spell on you right now.
Yeah, look at that. Okay.
And then the other thing is I 6 months ago.
Listen to this.
I had this beautiful house, Staten Island, right?
This is the story you got to hear. To me, this is all you need to know. 6 months ago, he's saying he has a beautiful house on Staten Island. Is that what he's saying?
That's what he said.
Ooh. It's kind of an oxymoron, right, guy?
6 months ago.
6 months ago.
I had this beautiful house, Staten Island.
Okay, start of the story. So this is good. 6 months ago, he had a beautiful house, Staten Island, with his family. Now let's listen to this.
Right? Everything we wanted. Sold the house because I was having anxiety about doing a show at Radio City. Swear to God. My brain couldn't process it that way. But through therapy, the therapist figured out, and it's right, because I checked on this with my girlfriend, and she was like, that's exactly what you did.
This? Too much.
I was very nervous about Radio City. Didn't know where to put that energy, because it was a big show. I'm a New York guy, big biggest weekend of my life. So I said, about 2 weeks before Radio City, came home and said, we're putting up the house for sale. I want to be able to walk to a bagel store. We can't walk to a bagel store at this house on Staten Island. I need that for my creative process. And my girl was like, what are you doing? We just renovated our kitchen. You just poured money into, this is our home. I was like, I can't walk to a bagel store and it's going to fuck my comedy up. It will.
What?
And she, yeah. And then,
Thank you, Joe.
and then people, if you knew my address back then, you would know that was a bagel store 0.9 miles away.
So this is getting a little weird, right? And he's going a little fast. And Joe Rogan's going, what? And Joe Rogan opened the show not really being too into this guy. You know, there's nothing Joe hates more than an adult man being a child, right? Because Joe does so much, right, to be a man, right? He's taking care of everything. There's no stone left on the carpet, that old saying. And he, he does a lot of stuff. All of his stuff's in order, right? And I think when he sees a guy like this, not that much younger than him, acting this way with a family especially, I think he starts getting disgusted, right? So let me fill you in on what he said really quick. He's going to cover it more, but he's saying he had this beautiful house. It's all, he's established. They just redid the kitchen. He's got a wife and family. I don't know if it's 2 kids, 1 kid. It's usually 2 with these guys. And so he had a show at Radio City Music Hall coming up, and he was so nervous about it. He had so much anxiety that without even asking them, he sold the house, moved the family to like an apartment in Brooklyn so that he could be closer to Madison Square Garden and walk to a bagel shop. Is this what he said, Jules?
Yes.
And Joe even goes, what? Now listen to this. He's going to describe it more. But basically, his family is in danger and they're not safe. Listen to this. It'll make sense more.
In Staten Island, I need that for my creative process. And my girl was like, what are you doing? We just renovated our kitchen. You just poured money into, this is our home. I was like, I can't walk to a bagel store and it's going to fuck my comedy up. It will.
What?
And she, yeah. And then, then people, if you knew my address back then, you would know that was a bagel store 0.9 miles away that I didn't know about. But
not funny to me.
But you had a dream house.
I had a dream house that we put to our liking. And I said, didn't understand it then. I said, we're selling the house. And I convinced my family, because that's what we can do, right? As comics, I convinced them. I had them buy this story, convinced my girl, my family, what's going to be better for us is to sell this 5-bedroom house. Here's the move. We're going to sell this 5-bedroom house for about $300,000.
Yeah, so when he says this happened 6 months ago, that's when this all started 6 months ago. So it really just ended. Like maybe even a week ago. So this is happening now. This isn't an old story telling you how he's fixed it all, although that's what he's saying. But this just happened. It started 6 months ago. It just ended. Listen to this tale.
Convinced my girl, my family, what's going to be better for us is to sell this 5-bedroom house. Here's the move. We're going to sell this 5-bedroom house for about $300,000 under asking price. We're going to get out of this puppy. We're going to sell that. We're going to move to Queens, where we can walk to stuff in bagel stores and be in civilization. We're going to temporarily live in a 2-bedroom apartment. And then we're eventually going to move into a condo, and life's going to be better because I won't have to care for these grounds anymore. I won't have to throw out the garbage. We'll be safe in an apartment. People can't come in the back window of our home, and this will be the move.
Oh my God.
And I did that, and then the apartment that we had lined up fell through. We left the apartment we were living in because it had roaches. Jasmine almost left me. She was almost like, I can't be a part of your chaos.
If your wife almost left you, things are really bad. People got to stop taking this divorce and wife leaving and separating things so lightly as if it's just a personal matter. This is a matter of all of our interest here. If you're so nasty and you're doing something so bad that your wife needs to get the hell away from you, that's big to me. So Chrissy Chaos, he sold the house. He's being erratic. He's moving them into Roach. And what he's not saying yet is that, he's got kids that had established friends in school and all that. They're not like babies. He's going to say it. Look what he did to his family.
That had roaches.
Not at Redbar.
Jasmine almost left me. She was almost like, I can't be a part of your chaos and self-sabotage anymore. And I had to kind of really just say, what the hell did I just do? Figure this problem out. Went back into therapy. Turned back into religion. Starting to find some answers.
Religion,
and
that's
now we're
gonna fix
living
it.
in a home that we're renting that we like, and we're kind of settling in. But that I learned the lesson of self-sabotage the hard way. The hardest, it's weird. What's going on in my career right now? Selling the most tickets I've ever had, financially the best I've ever done, getting all these opportunities, was the worst version of me as a human being.
Why?
Not because I was
Why?
just self-sabotaging after self-sabotaging, and I didn't know why.
Do you have friends that you could talk to about this stuff?
Yeah, but they're,
Nope.
they call me gay. You know what I mean? Like, they're old school New York guys that are like, I don't fucking know, dude, get a therapist. And I'm like, well, yeah, I what I had to do, I really felt like nobody could really help me with this. I was like, I got to just turn to a professional therapist. And then I turn back to going to church. And I was like, well, at least I have, like, if anything for me, church is just an hour a week to just meditate and sit there. And I have nothing. I have no thoughts. I have no technology. No. I'm like, it's just me and whoever.
You have 2 kids. There's no meditation time. Get with the kid. Worry about his problems in his life. So many of these comedy dads. How do you have time to do all this? I can't imagine my dad doing any of that growing up. Where would he have had the time?
I mean, isn't it scary?
To go meditate. And they don't even think about that. The kid is like the last thing any of these people ever think about anymore. Oh, the kid. Oh, yeah, of course, the kid. Well, I'll clean that up later. Meanwhile, who's your kid being raised by? It's being raised by the trade-off, the different people. That's all your kid's experiencing is this trade-off and being shipped around. Listen to this.
I think God is. That's how I feel about it. But that chaos stuff, because people always, Chrissy Chaos. I was actually living in it, and I was like, okay, now what I've done, now I've like hurt my family. Oh. Now I've done a thing that's like not funny. Now I've like taken things from my kids because I thought my kids would be like, oh yeah, Dad, like
you didn't unhurt your family if it just started 6 months ago. They're still very hurt. So, this isn't an old story. This isn't a story about redemption and change. This is a story
two
about
episodes of Redbar in that time.
Exactly. So this is just a story of, I hurt my family and they're still probably very hurt. Although, they're not. What are they going to do? They need me still. So
a lot of people hurting their families.
A lot of people hurting their
now.
families, and it's just going unpunished.
Like taking things from my kids because I thought my kids would be like, oh yeah, Dad, like my 8-year-old. We had that, this moment that kids are just kids. I'm like telling him, like, isn't this great, baby? Like, we can walk to the bagel store now. We can go to the park. We're not like living off the side of a highway. And she was like, well, I love that we had a pool. And I was like, yeah, but isn't it better that we
You took away the pool? Imagine somebody taking. That's like taking away I bet you he sold the dogs too. Imagine getting your pool taken away. I mean, do people not understand a pool? If you have a pool, you're rich. That's all you could ever fucking want. If you have your own pool, you have it all. And those people who have a pool and they're still unhappy, well, then nothing is going to ever make you happy. If you have a pool and you're not using it, just kill yourself.
And he said that the kids all probably had the huge giant bedroom and they had to go to sharing a bedroom.
Look at that.
That's crazy.
And believe me, it's not like up until then their life was too great. You were always out on tour. You're never there. You and Tom Segura and all these people, you're not there. Kids to you are just something that your wife has and then like these babysitters and wife's family take care of. And nobody's complaining because you're bringing in the dough. But it's like Ethan Klein. We could clock everywhere Ethan's been, all the time he spends playing video games alone in the basement. The kids aren't there. And you can't play a video game seriously and get to the levels he brags about getting to without ignoring your kids. So Ethan Klein is a deadbeat dad. Chrissy Chaos, deadbeat dad. That to me is deadbeat enough. if you're playing, what is the one Ethan does?
Survivor.io.
Survivor.io. No, the old one, the last one that came out. They were so excited for.
Oh, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring
is the one you hate.
He's beat Elden Ring. I'll say that 40, 50 times. Literally, he'll do the H3 podcast 6 hours a day, every day, goes home, runs in the basement, plays Elden Ring till he passes out. And that's it. He's not raising the kids. He's saying hi to the kids. You're not a dad. You're an acquaintance of the kid. You're more of an acquaintance than the babysitter. So these aren't dads. These are deadbeat dads.
Your Martha thinks we should have a kid and show them all how it's done.
Oh, my Martha said they wish we had kids. Yeah, well, I did have a kid. It turned out to be black, and we executed him through abortion. Sorry, those are my beliefs. Listen to this.
Don't have a pool now, and we can go to like the pool club. And she was like, no. She was like, honestly, she was like, we did it for you. So I'm happy that you're happy, but I miss my friends. And then I was like, oh my God, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
So I kind of have been like backtracking as much as I can, little by little, to try to like recorrect these mistakes. And now my family is more on board. Now my family's like, hey, we're with you. We're with you, but we got to figure this out. So now we're settled finally in a place, and we're kind of falling in love with the neighborhood we're living in as time has went on. And my kids are finding friends and all that, and I'm not going to take that from them. I'm not going to, be like, well, wherever we are now, we're going to stay for years so they can build the bonds and the friendships that they need that I inadvertently took away from them without me even realizing.
Okay, but you're going to have another manic episode any moment, especially after this Redbar lifestyle. Actually, I'm only hurting the kids now by doing what I'm doing. Don't let Chrissy see this for the kids, because she'll have another epa.
I mean, that's a lot for some kids to go through over the course of 6 months. I hope he's exaggerating how long. I hope it was longer.
It wasn't.
So
We've been. You could
track.
track. This is the thing. None of these people have the luxury of lying about time, because they catalog their day every day online, and it's all traceable of where they were, when they were, how long, where they were logged in, where they were. My data centers that we've set up here to track all these people personally and legally show us how much time they spend online. The money I've invested into all these teams to be able to go into the back end of their Twitters and social media and read all their messages to make sure I'm doing the right thing. I see where they've been and what they've done. I work with Jack Dorsey on this type of stuff. Okay, look at him. Maybe take a break from...
And he never really fully explains what caused him to do all this. He just tells Joe that it was because of his anxiety about how his career was going. But he tries to frame it as anxiety over getting too big.
Yeah, okay.
But I feel like that can't be the real reason, right? So what is the reason?
I don't know. Maybe he actually is spending all the money, and that's why they had to move.
Someone earlier said this is also around the time his producer quit his show to do Adam Carolla or something.
Uh-oh.
You mean Mr. Bircham?
Oh, I love that. Mr. Bircham on the Daily Wire. That is a really edgy show that's more funny than just your regular cartoon. Adam Carolla. Okay, listen to this.
Can I have those edibles?
So this anxiety ramped up.
Look at Rogan.
When
I almost forgot. The powerful one is here. Ghoulie.
Son of.
Here's a new nickname you could use for Dante Nero. A new nickname you could also use for Joe Rogan. I've got proof. You start calling them, oh boy, look at this guy. Looks like Son of Godzilla. So, yeah, it works for Joe Rogan, it works perfectly, and you'll see this right here. Let me introduce you guys to, and this is the legit version. This isn't some kid's version. This is the real version. Son of Godzilla, and a new nickname for Joe Rogan and Dante Nero type people. You could use this. Here it comes. Wait till you see the son of. There he is. Look at this. He's like bald. He's wide. He's stocky. Yeah, see? He's got these muscles. He kind of looks like Rogan. And
He's cute.
But look at this. Yeah, this is Son of Godzilla. I don't find this funny, by the way. Like, I want the Godzillas to be scary. Look at him. He's really looking Godzukian today, wearing all green Army black rifle. God, why can't Joe Rogan ever ask me out to a lunch and talk to me about what's going on?
We watched the new Zook, by the way, and
We did. We watched Kong vs. Godzilla, or as I like to call it, a shitty King Kong movie only with barely any Godzuki.
I hate it. I can't say this enough. I hate it when Godzilla runs. The whole point of Godzilla being
there's a lot of people with you
is
on
when
that.
he takes a slow step.
Slow step, menacing. It's just a moving mountain over the city is what you want. You don't want him running and jumping, and you don't want him. I don't need him lighting up blue. Thank you.
I think you gotta save
You could
the
charge
atomic breath.
atomic breath
for
once.
one big moment,
And it should look like fire, not fake blue lights. People don't shoot out cheap blue lighting from Govi. Okay, it really looks bad. They're overdoing it. Every movie now has blue glowing light on everything.
I know we still haven't seen -1.
No,
We don't live in
-1.
Japan.
People will write me, -1's out. Oh, is it? Or is it out in
I think you
Japan?
can watch it if you VPN to Japan. We can figure it out.
To me, a VPN should be against the law. Sorry, I don't break the laws of the
Wait,
country.
you should turn the bomb sound effect down like a millimeter. I'm so sorry for saying that. It's like so loud to me. I'm sorry. You don't have to. You can make your own creative choice. I'm sorry. I never think it's loud, but right now I do. So
What would they do in Wayne's World if the neighbor asked them to turn down the music?
I know, you're right.
They'd
You're
probably
right.
go, "Oh, sure, we'll turn it down."
We also have Jules in the house. What's up? What's up?
Right, something
Jules
like
in the
that.
house. This is going to be a very
Stop
difficult
it. I go by Wayne's World rules. Okay.
Totally fair.
So, I looked up because in Wayne's World they're playing the Stratocaster. I don't have a Stratocaster, and they have this white Strat. I like to get guitars now based on movies that I've seen. So I looked, and they have a Wayne's World guitar, official from Fender, but it's like a Squier. It's cheap. So I wish they would make a good one. I feel like it's been enough years. Wayne's World guitar would do really well right now. Okay,
True.
Here we go. Joe Rogan, and I'm liking Joe in this episode.
Same.
Because
he's doing what you just asked for.
Yeah, he's doing what he should be doing with everybody, not just the weak ones.
So this anxiety ramped up when success ramped up.
Yes.
So here I sound like a therapist here. But is it because you're
Concerned
worried it's going to
eyes.
go away? Is that the anxiety?
Those
Like, what is the
eyes.
anxiety? Like,
No,
What is the fear?
No, it wasn't any of that. It was, I believe, I have confidence. I believe that I'm in this business, I can do it. And I believe that, like, we're all together now, especially how comedy is now. I feel like we're all like this big brother, sisterhood, like we'll help each other. If one of us is falling, like we got each other. I believe in that. But I think that the actual anxiety
The cloud
of the day
exchange.
of, again, being a New York guy, one night Radio City, the next night the theater at MSG, all these, for me, a lot of tickets, 10,000
And you didn't
plus
deserve it,
tickets,
so
which is,
there's that
that's
too.
huge for me.
Right.
I was like, how am I going to balance all this? What if I don't do well? What if one of these 10,000 people realizes that thinks that I'm some kind of fraud?
Wait, you said realizes. You said realizes. And then he changed it. He corrects himself, goes, thinks. He goes, I'm afraid. What if one of these 10,000 people realizes but then he changes it really quickly to thinks. Listen to this.
Don't do well. What if one of these 10,000 people realizes that thinks that I'm some kind of fraud?
Because if they realized you were a fraud, that would mean they came to find the truth. See, that's too low. And you quickly changed it to think, because if they realize, and that's true, realizations are real, right? So Wow, that was like a self. This guy's in a lot of trouble here.
Thinks that like,
But, see, it's not about anxiety. It's about you being a fraud in some way. What are you doing that's fraudulent? Stop doing that. That anxiety will go away. And if it happened in your past, we're going to find out. It's all action. And it won't be over. Here's the silver lining for all you worriers up there. You could literally, they could have a tape of you raping someone. You'll still have enough followers to pay the bills. Seriously. You all do. Brian Cal. I mean, really, all of them.
Well,
Once you get to a certain level, as long as you keep putting out content and charging money, they're going to keep coming. We see it. Who? Logan Paul. I mean, name a person who we thought was done. Colleen. The ukulele. She's back. She's got views. Everyone's fine. She has a podcast now. It's wonderful with her husband, Colleen Ballinger.
So the podcast where they are
no matter what you do, and she was involved in actual, like her brother actually did like pedophile stuff, real pedophile stuff.
Messages.
Doesn't matter. Even if you're a pedophile,
There's proof.
You'll go through it, and people will. Chris D'Elia still gets a lot of hate. We got a new one here, but he still gets enough views to pay the bills, sells enough tickets to pay the bills. So it couldn't, so it would have to be worse than all that stuff, is what I'm saying. So it's probably not.
I mean, imposter syndrome, whatever, but imposter syndrome that makes you sell your house is pretty serious.
That's a serious move.
realizes that thinks that I'm some kind of fraud, thinks that like, hey,
one is going to.
Right.
Always.
Right.
There's always people that are going to find some negative thing.
So they talk about
So now.
Yeah.
Did you want to go to 10 minutes?
10 minutes. How would I type that?
1 0.
1 0 10.
0 0, you little cutie.
Nope. Didn't work.
1
0 0.
No, nope. Just go 1
okay.
0.
1 0.
0 0.
0. Oh wow.
Great job.
Let's hear this.
Which is very admirable, and I look at that sometimes and I question myself. I'm like, do I have that? I know I've been relatively successful in this, and I do love it. But I'm like, do I have that?
I wonder if therapy is not a good thing for a person like you.
Okay, why do you think?
Because
I've never heard that.
I wonder if like obsessing about your problems makes your problems bigger.
Yes.
And that maybe you just need another thing to focus on that maybe alleviates anxiety.
Well, what if your problems are really big? That's these people, they forget about anxiety. Well, is it anxiety because you have a bunch of guilt? Because that's guilt you're feeling. If it's anxiety and you don't know what it could be and you just feel anxious, well, that's something you go to therapy, you figure this out, take a pill. But anxiety, because you're doing stuff wrong at the time, that shouldn't be treated as anxiety. Like, let's just take care of the anxiety. No, let's take care of the bad stuff you must be doing.
Well, Joe,
so these workouts aren't going to help the bad stuff. That's probably going to make him want to do more bad stuff because then he's all hopped up on the pre-workout. He's all ripped, so he's probably going to get involved in more crime. Being muscular, a lot of these criminals are muscular.
Mm-hmm. And that maybe you just need another thing to focus on that maybe alleviates anxiety, like some kind of a hardcore workout thing.
Okay.
Do you work out?
Yes.
What do you do?
Well, yesterday I did hot yoga.
That's great.
Yeah, just because I was on the plane, wanted to do the hot yoga, dripping sweat.
That's a
was
great
crazy.
thing to do.
And then today I did.
If he would have said I go on walks, Joe would have been saying the same thing. Oh, those are good. Those are great for you. They're not. You know how I know? Every fat fuck is walking around. They look awful. The homeless people are all walking. This walking is not healthy. Trust me. You're better off sitting and learning about yourself.
Sweat.
That's a
was
great
crazy.
Thing to do.
No sweat. No sweat for you. Just stop doing the bad things. Okay, is this going to be?
Yeah,
let's just get to the point.
1945 is just a funny moment, and then you can end.
1945. I was born in 47.
He talks about this for like 35 minutes, but it's all
last
repeating.
9 months, I was like, wow, dude, you really fucking are looking it in the face now. Like,
listen to what Joe says.
These decisions. I mean, dude, when your 8-year-old looks at you like, what the fuck did you do?
Right.
That's all, your mom and dad can tell you shit. Even your wife and girlfriend can tell you shit, which I all love and respect. But your daughter is like, what did you do? Why did you do this to us?
Right.
You kind of have this major wake-up call where it was like...
Yeah, when I moved here, I was very lucky that my kids wanted to move here.
Right.
And it was lucky during the time that we moved. There was a real clear reason because LA was fucked.
Right.
And they love it here, so I'm happy. But if they didn't, I'd feel fucking terrible. And if I had sold the house like that, especially if there's a real bagel store
0.9 miles away. Shout out Manor Bagels on Staten Island. They had excellent bagels.
So
shout them out.
You just didn't know?
He would feel fucking terrible if he did what you did. And he's right. He had to get out of LA because that was like Mad Max. I mean, you can't even go up to the border of LA right now without somebody shooting like an arrow, a homemade arrow at you. This shit's lawless. So, okay, is that Chrissy D?
That's Chrissy D for
Chrissy
you.
D. There you go, Chris. You wanted an online video.
He's going through a tough time.
Going through a tough time. What did he do? That's the question today. We can't wait to find out.
Mike makes your day. He brings you the world, the stars and the songs. Mike makes your day. He does what you'd like to, takes you along. Mike makes your